All right. Hello. All right. All right. We're going to do this again. Okay. We are going to talk all about how to manage job loss in stressful times like this. I mean, because of course, I think all of us can admit that these times are very stressful. And a lot of people, a lot of clients, a lot of friends, unfortunately, have lost their job. And if you are in that category, then this class is absolutely for you. In this class, one of the things that I ultimately want to do is I always want to be mindful, and I want to, the content that I put out, I want it to be relevant, and this couldn't be more relevant of a topic than anything that I have done, because we are experiencing such immense pain and a lot of fear in this country right now, and I think that it is a tragedy. It's a tragedy in the sense of, who and all the people who have lost their jobs. And so if you've been affected, I want to first say that I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you have had to experience this. And a lot of, people who have been affected have been in the federal government sector, and we know what's going on in our country. But let me just say to you that it's not right, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault that there are some people who got into some power and decided that they were going to take that power out on the people. And when I say the people, I mean we, the people, right? It has nothing to do with your race, your religion, your sexual orientation, or anything like that. It's just that we have people in power who, to me, are acting very inhumane and are affecting so many lives. And so I want to first say I'm sorry that you are experiencing this, but I wanted to have this class because I want to make sure that regardless of everything that's happening, we can feel empowered that we are still in control of our own destiny. Because I know that sometimes when you lose something that is so dear to you, and something that actually even provides so much, you know, stability, right? So much stability that it's a big loss. And so I want you to still feel empowered that you can still control your own destiny. And I wanted to give you some practical tools that you can use in order to be able to move forward. One of the reasons why I knew for a fact that I had to have this class is because I have an amazing friend who lost her job. And I asked her, could I share her story? And she told me yes, because I think this will be empowering to you if you've been experiencing this, or if somebody else has experienced this that you know and that you love and that you care about. So if you are joining me live, feel free to drop your name in the chat and where you are tuning in from. I would love to conversate with you. And if you have any questions throughout this class, please feel free to actually hit me up in this chat as well. I also want to say, before I jump into her story and then some steps that you can take if you've lost your job, I want to say that I'm holding a free class. It is coming up, not a free class, sorry, because this is the free class. I'm holding a free coaching call. Y'all know, if you follow me, I'm an executive coach and a career coach. And it is my sole purpose in life is to help women discover their purpose and find the career and business that they love and that they deserve. Because I believe that we all deserve it. So in coming soon, and if you go to my website, drkiki.com, and go to Thrive Society, I'm going to be hosting a free coaching call for you, anybody who's been affected by this current climate in our nation, anybody who's dealing with loss. There's a lot of people right now, y'all, dealing with loss. I just even got word that such a good friend passed away this week, and she had been dealing with cancer. So there's so many things that we're dealing with right now as people, as professionals, as women. And I want to be able to support more women. I have my own coaching clients, of course, and I run a company that we support a lot of leaders in organizations, but I'm talking to you. So that class is coming up, I think, next Thursday. But in order to get that coaching class, that free coaching class, you have to join Thrive Society, which is my membership community, which is the only place that I really be coaching women on a regular basis, but it's free for you to join Thrive Society. So if you go to drkiki.com and click on Thrive Society at the top, you can join for free, and then you'll get all the information about this free coaching call that I am doing for women coming up next week. So I hope you'll join me. And so this is just, another way for me to support you. So I decided to do this class because I was strolling through IG like we do, and I came across a post, and this is my, very good friend. And her post said, I just lost my federal government job today. And my heart sank, because the thing is, I had been thinking about her because I knew that she had always wanted a federal government job. She lives in the Washington, D.C. area. That's where I used to live at. And, when you live in the D.C. area, having a federal government job is just what it is what you do. Because the federal government is pretty much housed in DC. Of course, they have, satellite offices around the world, but it's pretty much housed in DC for a lot of people. And so she had been working really, really, really hard to get her federal government job, and she got it, and she's amazing at it. And I was just so happy for her when she actually got the job and the position. We celebrated and all that kind of stuff. And so to see this post, it made my heart sink, because I know her and I know all that she's been through over this past, couple of years. And so she said to me, so I saw the post and my heart sank, and I immediately kind of responded to her post, giving her some words of encouragement. But then I also picked up the phone and I called her, and she was like, you know what, Kiki, I am just so done. I'm so beside myself when it comes to this. Like, she's like, it's not fair. I did nothing wrong. I'm a stellar employee. I was on probation, And I was like, you know what? It's not your fault, and it's okay to be upset and angry. So we actually had a conversation. And I left just, admiring her so much more, because, she's such a strong and resilient person. But it's sad that we always have to be that way, right? And so what happened was, she was at work and she had taken a break, and and then she finally had gotten back to her desk. And when she got back to her desk, she checked her email. She saw the notice. It said, notice of termination effective immediately. Are you freaking kidding me? Here's the thing, right? There's a way to do things. Okay, you say you want to clean up the government and you want to get, cut spending, and which means you're going to cut jobs and all this kind of stuff. Why do you have to do it this way? Why? And that's what I say inhumane. You do not have to treat people who've given their time and service to our country, yes, being a federal government worker, this way. It could have been done another way, but it wasn't. So notice of termination effective freaking immediately. So she looks up and she, looks over, sees her supervisors and everything, and they all come over, because guess what? They did not know either. They know, because nobody told them who was going to get terminated. They found out when she found out. So they came over and she just burst out crying. She was like, it was so terrible. Like she's worked so hard for this. So let me tell you about my friend. She's amazing. She has uh, 4 children. She lost her husband like a little over a year ago, and she just bought a house. And she just lost her job. And she's the sole provider for 4 children. Tell me, please tell me where that's right. It's not. Not even a little bit. And so now she's grappling with the fact that she has 4 mouths to feed. No, she doesn't have her husband anymore because he passed away. And so that was a traumatic experience. And now she's experiencing another traumatic experience. And I was so angry. I was so angry. And, but talking to her, the beautiful thing that, because like I told you, my friend is one of the most beautiful, most strong, most positive people I know. And she was like, you know what, Kiki, this does hurt. And I'm going to grieve for the weekend. But after this, I'm going to get back on it and try to figure out what my next move is. And this leads me to my first couple of points that I want to share with you in terms of taking back your power if you've lost your job. First of all, I want you to grieve, right? You have to give yourself a beat, a moment to slow down, to stop, to feel the feelings, right? And it's okay to be angry, to be pissed off, to want to throw things, all those things. All those emotions are appropriate at this time. They're all appropriate. And you have to give yourself a moment to feel the feels and to go through the emotions. You have to. Because if you don't, and if you stuff it down, if you make it seem like I'm just a strong person, I can withstand anything, that's when things start to go awry. Right? That's when things start to go awry. So for my friend, she was feeling all the feels. And guess what? I was feeling all the feels with her because I was extremely, extremely hurt and upset for her. And, if you know somebody has been affected, and you love them and you care about them, it is okay for you to go through the feelings as well. Like, I believe that we're all going through the feels right now. And I am, being honest about it. And I want you to be honest about it too, because this stuff sucks. It's not right. It's not fair. And it absolutely sucks. And so who wants to, don't stuff your feelings down. So I'm going to say that. Don't stuff your feelings down. Feel the feelings, because here's the thing. When we lose something that's dear to us, and a job is dear, right? A job is dear to us because it provides something. When we lose something that's dear to us, we have to mourn the loss of it. We have to mourn the loss. Just like if you lost a person, right? Somebody who was dear to you. You can't just keep it moving. You have to mourn the loss of that person in order for you to get back to what we consider potentially is normal for you, right? So you have to go through that grieving process. Part of that process, you can write down your feelings like in a journal. I think that's always helpful, which is to write down your feelings in terms of, just, an outward expression of what you're going through. Another way is to talk to people. I'm a talker, as you can see. So for me, I like to talk out my feelings. My husband, child, he ain't talking out his feelings. Okay. He will retreat, but he'll be in his own mind and he's thinking about it and he's still going through his own process. We all process things completely different, and that's okay. So like for my friend, when I was mad, when I found out that she had lost her job, I called her immediately. I wrote, so that's part of what I did, was I responded to her post, and then I called her immediately to have her process out what she's feeling as well. But for me, it was just as much for me as it was for her, because I was really feeling so much pain for her, and I needed to express that. Like for me, I told you I lost a really dear friend the other day, and we were in a group, a group chat with, about 3, 4 other women, and we've been together for about, I don't know, 10 years. And the first thing I did was I typed in the group chat, and then I called everybody on 3-way. We have about 4 of us on a call, 3-way, 4-way, whatever you want to call it, having a conversation about it, because that's how I process. So you got to understand how you process this stuff. So it may be writing, it may be calling, it may be sitting in silence and just really, going through the motions with yourself. Either way it happens, you got to do it. But here's the most important part is you need to give yourself a time frame to do this in. Now, this can be hard for some people, because you're like, how can you put a time frame on grief, Dr. Kiki? You just do it. Right? You just, and it might not be like, on this day, I'm going to no longer grieve. That's not what I'm talking about, right? I'm saying that sometimes when we grieve, we're paralyzed and we can't move forward. And I don't want that for you. And so I want you to what I'm asking you to do is really put a date on when you're going to pick up your strength and be able to move forward, right? And I think that that's important for us to do. So like my friend, this is why I love her so much. Boy, I think that this woman is so strong. She was like, Kiki, this hurts. I ain't gonna lie. I'm so pissed. I'm so angry. I'm all the things. I don't even know what to feel. But I'm gonna do that this weekend. I'm gonna feel all the feelings and all that. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna do all that kind of stuff. But come Monday, this ain't gonna get my tears and my grief and all my attention. I have to turn my eyes towards what to do next. And I was like, you know what? This is why I love you. This is why I think you one of the baddest chicks in the game out here, because you understand the assignment. So for her, she gave herself a weekend to grieve. Now, will she still be potentially grieving after the weekend? Yeah. Because it's not a turn on and turn off thing, y'all. Like, we can't work in absolutes when it comes to life, especially when it comes to feelings and emotions. But the thought process is, if you give yourself a time frame, then once that time frame is up, you've done all you need to do emotionally with expressing yourself and expressing your anger and going through this grief process. Then you can turn your eyes in terms of what you need to do next. And that's what I'm saying. So for you, the time frame may be different. It may be like, Kiki, I can't snap back that quick, right? The snap back, by the way, is called resilience. Resilience means your ability to snap back, bounce back after something traumatic has happened to you, or something hard, or some kind of challenge has happened to you. And the goal is for you to bounce back better than you were before, right? So that's called resilience. So you might be like, Dr. Kiki, I'm not that resilient. I need a week. I need 2 weeks. I need a month. I'm okay. Because what I ultimately believe is that you are the expert on you. But I'm going to give you a little push and a little self-love, like I do all my clients. I really want you to know that you are stronger than what you think you are a lot of times. We are stronger than what we give ourselves credit for. Now I get it. Listen, I understand that sometimes you don't want to be strong. I'm telling you, like sometimes I just want to cry, or I just want to sulk, or I just want to be. And that's okay. That's okay to do. But when I do that, I always give myself a time frame, right? Here's what I do. When I'm really upset about something, something that might have happened, and I can't kind of get my head wrapped around it, I try to give myself one sleep. Like sometimes I just need to go to sleep. Sometimes y'all, we just need to go to sleep, right? We just need to get into bed and go to sleep, and things will be better. You probably is more clear headed in the morning, and all those things. And that's what I do when I get really really upset. I'm like, you know what? I just need to go to sleep because right now I can't think clearly or anything like that. And I promise you, in the morning when I wake up, I might still be sad, but I think more clearly. I'm more apt to come up with solutions for my issues. And so, if this is you, right, give yourself a little time, but also give yourself a time frame when you're going to transition into some kind of action, right? So for me, it's one sleep. For her, it was one weekend. For you, it may be 1 or 2 weeks. If you lost your job, give yourself a little time, but let's get back on it. We don't want a lot of time to pass because, baby, we got to get back on it. We got to get a job. We got to figure out what's next. And my hope for you, especially if you lost your job with the federal government, is that they overturn that ruling, right? That's my hope. But guess what? You should not be sitting around waiting for that to happen, because by that time, you might have lost too much time and money. And we don't want that for you because you don't deserve that. So, okay. So we're going to grieve. We're going to choose a time where we're going to get back on it. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to assess our strengths. Y'all heard me talk about this a long time. I'm a positive psychologist. A positive psychologist means what goes right with you. I study what goes right with people and not just what goes wrong with us. I mean, you got everybody else to do that for you. Let me help you figure out what's right, which means what are your strengths? So you have this job and you were fired. And so chances are you might know your strengths, but if you don't, then I need you to take an assessment. Or I need you to ask somebody, what are your strengths? I mean, I'm sure you have a resume, so you can look at that. But I love assessments because I really think that they ask the right questions to help us get to the right answers that we need. And so 2 assessments that I love is the Clifton Strengths Finder, right? That's a paid assessment, but it's going to tell you your leadership strengths. And I think that's important to really know in this job market, because as you start to look for something different, you're going to need to know what those are. And then the VIA, which is called VIA, Character Strengths Assessment. This one is free. So you can go on right after you get off this class with me, and you can take the VIA Strengths Assessment and find out what your character strength is. And when I say character strength, I mean, these are what some people potentially call soft skills, but these skills are the skills that actually take you to the top or make you fall. Because here's what I truly believe. What we have in this country is a human problem. And you've probably seen stories of people who are so amazing at their leadership ability and, or their sport or their instrument or whatever, and they rise to the top. But the thing that keeps them there is because they have amazing character. The things that make them topple is because they have terrible character. So my top VIA character strength is, drum rolls please, zest. If you didn't know it, zest means a love for life, just, wanting to live life to the fullest. I show up zesty to everything I do. I can't help it. It's in my blood, it's in my DNA, right? But this has helped me throughout my entire life get ahead. It has. And so it's very important that you know that. So with the VIA Character Strengths Assessment, there are 24 character strengths. You have all 24 strengths. All of us have them all. But there are going to be a couple, the top 5, that rise to the top, that sits at the top for you most of the time. So one of them for me is zest. Another one is spirituality. If you know me, I'm always, talking about God. I love Jesus. Listen, we cool. Because I truly believe that I don't have anything without him. And it amazes me that a lot of these people in our country will talk about God, but I feel like we don't serve the same God, because the God that I know loves the poor. He helps the needy. He takes care of us all. He doesn't judge like that, right? But that's not what other people are doing. They're using God, to me, in vain to um to progress an agenda. God doesn't discriminate. He ain't racist. Like, he's not prejudiced. And that's what's happening. When you talk about DEI and cutting DEI out of all these, programs, and you try to villainize DEI, God would never do that. And it's just food for thought for some people who believe that their God would discriminate against me because I'm black. He wouldn't. And that ain't what the words say either. I'm just saying. So you need to look at your strengths, right? So one of mine is spirituality, as you can see. And I have love of learning and humor. Y'all, I use humor in a lot of ways because sometimes we just need to laugh. So I want you to go on and I want you to figure out your strengths, because it's going to be super important for you to do that, because you need to be able to articulate what you're great at. Because that's where you're going to find your next opportunity at. I'm hoping that you can get your job back. But if you can't, where you're going to find your next opportunity is in a place where your strengths lie. And I will always talk about this, right? I talk about purpose. My whole goal is to help women find their God-given purpose so that they can just really thrive in life. And your purpose lies at a place where your strengths and your passions meet, right? Your purpose lies where those two things collide. So if you know what you're ultimately passionate about, and in the same vein, you know what you're strong at, that's where you'll find your purpose in life. And if you're moving forward in life and you lost your job, here's a beautiful opportunity to step into your God-given purpose. That's a beautiful opportunity to do that. Speaking of that, this year I'm having the Thrive 25 Women's Conference right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Today, actually, is the last day for you to get the early bird pricing, and I would love to walk through this process with you in person. I am one of those people who I love to be in person with people, and so this is just my opportunity to be able to do that. So if you go to drkiki.com and click on the link for Thrive 25, you'll see, and you can get registered. Today is your absolute last day to get that early bird pricing, and then the price goes up. And so I would love to see you. But it's time for you to really dig into that God-given purpose. This is a really good time to be able to do that, right? It's an amazing time for you to be able to just not think about another job, right? We got to get another job. I get it. We got to get something else, but be intentional about it. Be intentional. So I want you to take an assessment, figure out your strengths. And then what I want you to do is, now that you understand what you're strong at, I need you to start doing a couple of things. One is getting online, looking for a new job. There's so many awesome, amazing job search sites out there. One of my favorites is LinkedIn, right? Because LinkedIn is a search engine, and it just has everything. It has the people, it has the jobs, it has all the things, right? And so that is your opportunity to kind of get on and look at stuff. And the thing about it is, with any of these job sites, you're looking to see what resonates with your skill set and your passions. Where is it that you want to go? So I need you to start looking and applying. Don't just get on any of these job sites and look. I need you to look and apply. And I don't need you to look and apply for one thing. I need you to look and apply for a lot of things. Because I know what happens with us. We'll look and we'll apply, and I ain't gonna hold you. Job applications can be difficult, and you also, need to tailor your resume towards that job. And so it can take a minute. I mean, I had a friend who was looking for a job, and she was saying that each job application that she did was taking her about 2 hours to do. So I get it. It's time consuming, but guess what? You need to do it. You got to do it because we have got to get something else. We've got to get you something else. So, number one, I need you to start looking on LinkedIn, Monster, wherever it is that you do, and start applying for jobs. But I probably should have said this one before that. I need you, well, not necessarily. I need you to look on, LinkedIn, wherever it is that you're going to look. And I need you to look at the job that you want to apply for. But I also want you to tailor your resume to that job, right? This is an important step because, yeah, you can get on and you can apply for all these jobs, right? But if you don't take the time to tailor your resume, then you are cutting your chances in more than half of actually getting that job. You can tailor your resume because now you really know your strengths and you know where your passion lies. And so more than likely, all of the jobs that you're going to apply for right now are going to be in that skill set and in your passion set. So more than likely, you won't have to tailor your resume like drastically for any one job, right? But you can transcend industries and everything like that because where you're passionate at and your skill set might still be relevant for another industry, right? I can work in any industry, communicating, coaching, it don't matter. I can work in any industry, but I also need to be smart and tailor my resume to what that looks like. If you do not know how to do that, a couple things. You may want to ask a friend or a colleague, somebody to look at your resume to help you tailor it. You can hire a coach, an executive or a career coach like myself to help you do that. And if you can't do any of those things, I'm going to tell you, go to AI. Something like Chat GPT or something like that can help you do that. What you would end up doing is, and I know some of y'all might be not tech savvy or whatever, but it's easy. Chat GPT is free. They have a free version. You would say, give it a prompt to say, please tailor my resume. And then you copy and paste your resume into Chat GPT to match this job description. You would copy and paste that job description and then post it in Chat GPT and let it do its magic. I mean, right? So will you have to tweak some stuff? Yes. Yes. And you need to read through and make sure that all the information is correct, right? Because you don't always get stuff right. It's AI, right? You know, I had did something in Chat GPT one time, and it was like, yeah, Dr. Kiki speaks 3 languages fluently. Child, stop lying, Chat. Stop, cut it out. Stop lying. I wish I did, but I don't. And so that's one thing that you can do if you do not, if you don't want to go the route of hiring a coach or asking a friend. But those other routes are really, really good because I know a coach can look over your stuff and give you some suggestions on what that looks like. And, you know, it will do world of a difference, right? It can do a world of a difference. So I need you to do this for all the jobs that you're going to apply for. And remember how many jobs we're applying for? A lot. Because you cannot just stop at one. And if you get a rejection from one, that's just one job. Don't stop at just one. No, that's just one job. So I need you to apply and tailor your resume. The next thing that I need you to do is I need you to write a list of all your friends and family down. Because guess what? The majority of them have jobs. And I need you to be resilient and vulnerable to go ask them for help. I know. Asking for help is hard. It used to be hard for me, but it's not hard for me anymore because I see the value of it. And it really does make a world of a difference in your life. And so if it's you and you are out here trying to be superwoman and you don't want to ask somebody for help, I'm going to say, sis, Girlfriend, we got to put that aside. And to be honest with you, people want to help. But most of the time we never ask. And so people can't help. I'm gonna give you a prime example of that. I want to shout out to another friend. Man, my me and my husband both teach for Life University. I teach in the Masters of Positive Psychology Coaching program, and he teaches in the Computer Science program. And this semester, my husband took a class that was on campus, and he teaches on campus on Mondays and Wednesdays. My classes, although they're online, they're still synchronous, meaning we have live classes on Zoom on Wednesdays. Previously, my husband could go pick the kids up when I have class. But guess what? We both have class now at the same time. And so I now have to leave the house early to go get the kids, to get them back home, to help them with homework, to help them get fed, all the things before 5:30, before my class. And I'm in class from 5:30 to 8. And so then after that, the kids are fending for themselves. Guess what? They upstairs watching TV, making noise, doing all the things. And it used to then not be that way because, of course, he was home and he could take care of the kids. So I was explaining to a friend how insane our Wednesdays are. Like, just insane. I was like, oh my God, Wednesday is, da, da, da. She said to me, you want me to go get the kids on Wednesday? And I'm like, what? And then, mind you, she's gone to get the kids before. She's on the list. She's kept the kids while we've been out of the country before. This ain't new to her. Why did it not occur to me to just ask her? I was in the whole straight complain mode, and she offered. But I could have asked her, because we don't be asking. We just be up here suffering. When I tell you Wednesdays are a beast in my house, it's crazy town. And so this week was the first week that she went and got the kids. And let me tell you, God is so good. Because she went and got the kids. She brought them home. I was already teaching. She cooked them food, helped them with their homework, and all the things. That's why they say you need a village to raise a child. I don't know what a village been at, right? I guess we don't feel like the villages existing none nowadays, but we still need them. But all I had to do was ask her, but I didn't. So here's what I want you to do is I want you to ask. I want you to ask everybody you know. I need you to ask them to float your resume. I need you to ask them if they have any positions available at their place of employment. And I need you to ask them to let you know if there's anybody else who they know who's looking. Because I can guarantee you there's somebody that they know that might be looking and looking for somebody like you. But if you don't ask, and you won't know. My mama used to always say, a closed mouth don't get fed. Okay? So I need you to really ask people. Say, hey, this is a difficult time for me, but I absolutely have a request. And could you please float my resume to, your hiring manager? Do you know if your company is hiring? I am looking for this position. Here are my skill set. Here are my strengths. And you remember, you already looked those up. So you can tell a person that. That's what I need you to do. I need you to really get out there and really ask. Because it is imperative that you begin to take these small action steps. And then the last thing I need you to do is, I know this one may be hard, but I'm going to say it anyway. I need you to truly maintain hope during these times and take care of yourself. I know, I get it. People ask me every day, how can you continue to do this work when you see so much hurt, pain, and everything? Like, they mean the work of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and helping people and companies. And I said, you know, the reason why I can still do this work is because I maintain that people, us, are inherently good, and our country is inherently good. Now I know that sounds crazy right now. even saying it sounds crazy. And let me tell you, I done wavered a little bit. I'm like, oh God, it's hard. It's real hard to maintain hope when you lose your job. And it's not your fault. I get it. And so I understand what I'm asking of you is a lot. But let me just pose this. The alternative is worse. Giving up, giving in to the fear, giving in to the hate, giving in to the inactivity is worse, because it'll have you in a worse situation than what you're in right now. So I'm going to ask you that during this time, you remain hopeful that, number one, you get your job back. Like if you're in the federal government. If you're not in the federal government, there's probably, you probably won't be getting that job back, but you can still remain hopeful that you're going to find another job. Right? And really take care of yourself. Give yourself what you need in order to be okay. Give yourself the time, the energy to continue to grieve if you need to, but then to still move forward. Let me just tell you, you absolutely got this. You got it. And I know that some days might be harder than others, but you got this. And I truly believe that God didn't bring you this far to leave you here. So I'm asking you to maintain hope that something amazing is coming your way. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. I hope something I said resonated with you. If you lost your job again, I am sorry that this happened to you, and I know that you're going to be able to bounce back. If it's somebody who you love, please share this video. And if you're on here, you're on my channel, please go ahead and click the button and subscribe to the channel, and also share this video so that other people may subscribe, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to help millions of women learn how to step into their God-given purpose and be successful in life. And so remember two things. I'm having a live coaching call coming up in next week. So go to drkiki.com and click on Thrive Society, which is my community, and join so that you can get all the information and be on that call. Number two, Thrive 25 Women's Conference is coming up later this year. Go to my website, click on Thrive 25, and you will also see that as well. Today is the last day to get the early bird special. All right. I love you all. You all have the ability to go out there and create your own happiness. Right? So go out there and do that. All right. Talk to you soon. Peace.